So what are your thoughts on people who are really hard on themselves and just kind of working towards that next goal?
Yeah, we have been talking about this a lot. So, one thing that Moise and I have been talking about is separating worth from accomplishment. And there's a practice. Okay, so the practice is this. Let's say you go to the grocery store because you have a daughter's birthday coming up, but you're not used to going. You're going to a separate, a different grocery store than you're used to, and you have a time limit. You have to get all these things. This happened to me yesterday, and I was stressed out. I was like, "Oh no, I'm running through a grocery store. I've got about an hour and a half window here to get the goods for the party." And there were a couple of things I knew I wasn't quite right. I just did the best I could, and I got back, and I knew they weren't right. But then there's that element of, oh, I want to get it right so bad that if I don't get it right, then there's an attachment of worth to, like, my self-worth attached to, oh, did I get the right thing? And inevitably you can't. I mean, it's almost impossible not to. So there's I don't know, like something that I'm leaning into where it's like, oh, look for opportunities where you get it wrong. Like, and then you can say to yourself, oh, my worth isn't connected to getting it right. It's amazing to me how much my life I live where worth is connected to getting it right. And when you can separate that just a little bit, catch yourself in those situations. It's like when you think of like a yellow car or something, and then the next day you see 20 yellow cars, and you haven't looked at a yellow car ever, or you haven't noticed them in the past 2 weeks. It's the same kind of phenomenon, and so that's one thing I've been playing with. So instead of having to go back to the thought is, instead of having a goal or a milestone or even an outcome that is clearly defined, which is really useful and helpful. I think these are useful, helpful things. But instead, to craft a vision. And a vision might not necessarily have set goals, but a vision, I mean, it might include set goals, but it's not only set goals. It's a moment in time. It's a narrative. It's a story. It's something you can step into and live over a progressive period of time. It's not just like a simple, okay, one and done. And so I think that the challenge with a lot of these goals is, if it's a one and done, like, okay, so I want to enroll 10 clients this month. Okay, that's a one and done. The vision might be, I want to, provide, excellent life coaching services to 10 or more clients, and to be in those sessions and to feel like I'm contributing to humanity, and I'm looking at my schedule, and this is what's happening. So the vision expands time, and it incorporates a narrative and a story in a much deeper way than maybe a goal or an outcome will. Um, I have another thought on this too. So I was listening last night to uh, Algorithms to Live By, and this is coming back from the grocery store, and with my 15-year-old, and we're listening to this together. It is just so cool to hear her process at the same time. Anyway, we're getting to a point where we're thinking we're chapter 4. It's about how computers work and how they cache information and how they sort, and how caching is a really effective way of doing this, of sorting lots of information, making sure computers are fast. Our computers might have up to 6 different caching mechanisms at play, like six different hierarchies of places to store information depending on how we use it. And they're saying how they talked about temporal locality as a thing. That was a concept last night. So temporal locality just means, what time did it happen, right? But it's more than what time did it happen. It's how recent was it? How frequent was it? What was the next, like, not the last time, but the next to last time. So if you're looking at caching theory and computers, they have all, like, computer scientists have all these terms, all this description of temporal locality. And so the idea then is, okay, so where does your best self live? Like, what's the temporal locality of your best lived day? Like, how long ago was your best lived day? What was your next to best lived day? So if you're looking at this from a standpoint of caching or like a systems, now you can start to think about it from from time standpoint, but time standpoint as location. So that's just last night. I've been playing with that all last night and all this morning in my head, thinking about this, how this will work, because the premise is what computer science shows from just the hundreds, looking at thousands of people, big data, is that the most likely thing to happen in the future is what has happened in the recent past. That's scary. That doesn't seem happy for people who want to change. But the happy thing is, if you make just one change, like one step, let's say you get to the gym once, you're more likely to get to the gym twice. If you get to the gym twice, you're more likely to get to the gym 4 times. So whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is, the thing that you think, okay, this is something that really needs to happen in my life, you just start to up its frequency. And you can trust if you can do it once, you can do it twice. Such a cool idea. And it's really using, I think, insights of temporal locality as how can you get as many reps into your life, on a consistent basis. I think I haven't yet played fully with this idea, but I've been, in my mind's been like surfing it for the last 18 hours. I don't know.
I love it, John. Any coaches listening, I was thinking of questions right there to even work with your client, where does your best self live? I'm going to journal on that question.
Like
That's a great question.
what would make today, an utter masterpiece? And when you craft, let's say craft one day next week, just craft a masterpiece day. What went into it? How did you do it? And then can you craft one masterpiece day a week? Like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Like you start, it's a different way of thinking. You ask questions, you'll get different different avenues of curiosity open up.
We're doing it right now. We're creating a masterpiece right now.